Had good success in the past. It means nothing moving forward. I think we got 42, if my math is right. Chris may correct me, but 42 new scholarship faces on the roster. That's about half. So a lot of really good players are coming back, but a lot of really good players went out the door. And so I do think early on, love the accountability of the offseason and the way it's feeling like it's a player-led team, which is good. And I think we've got, at least early on, I think we have a chance to have maybe the best depth we've had since we've been here, kind of overall across the board. And I really like our young talent. We've got really good young talent. Now, all talent really means is you have potential and you haven't done anything yet. But so that's kind of where it felt like coming into the season, and even after one day and only helmets, kind of feel the same way. We got an eager bunch that's excited and ready to go, but so is everybody else in the country. So it's, how do we come together as a team and have that character and chemistry and culture that some teams have had in the past as a brand new team. It has nothing to do with the past. This team has to become the best version of itself. So that's the big process we have over the next month. And then how do we take a lot of that talent and become good football players and a good football team? So that's where we are. But as coaches, you like that. It's what makes it fun, is you feel like you have a chance to grow and develop something to play a big-time schedule that we have coming up. And then probably the last thing is we did go ahead. The players voted last night on who would wear the Jerry Levias number 23. And I don't know if this is the first time ever, or if Chris Banjo, was he 2 or 3?
I thought Chris wore 4.
4? Okay. So if Chris wore it 3 or 4 years, Isaiah Wacobia was voted on by his teammates pretty much unanimous again. So he'll be in 23 again for the 3rd straight year. So far that's worked out pretty well for everybody. But I think it just shows. Now, I will say we had 4 guys get double-digit votes from their teammates, which is the most we've had. So we got a lot of other guys that I know they felt deserving, but it was still pretty unanimous that Isaiah would honor Jerry Levias and wear that number, and I know he'll represent Jerry and SMU really well. So, questions?
For the running back group, you put a guy in the NFL and you only got, one guy back who played just a little last year. Is this one of those where you're like, we got talent there, now we got to figure out what we're doing with it?
100%. It's hard to – I've been asked a lot, how are you going to replace Brashard's production? Well, this time last year, nobody knew Brashard existed, right? And look what he did. And so, Jalen Knighton last year got injured. Kamar got injured. So we were pretty thin last year. I mean, we had Brashard, we had LJ half the time, who was beat up a lot, and we had Roderick Daniels, who was a receiver. So if you really think about it, while we were really talented at the top, an NFL draft pick who I think is going to have a great career in Brashard and all that, a lot of production left, but we were thin. Every week, if he would have gotten hurt, it was going to be a challenge. What I think we have a chance to this year is have better depth. Derek McFall, true sophomore, he's gotten his feet wet, he's played. He's had a good offseason, a little more experience. We're hopeful that he'll do a really nice job. He's not an incredibly experienced guy yet, but he's no longer a freshman. Then you got a guy who's young coming over from Miami and CJ, Chris Johnson, that is explosive. So that's 2 guys that are explosive, can catch the ball in the backfield, both played receiver at times in high school, similar to Brashard, so stylistically. And then you got the 2 new guys in terms of TJ Harden coming over from UCLA, who is just waiting to get his graduation certified and was out there today. Hadn't been cleared to practice just because of that. He will any day now, and he gives us probably the most football experience at the collegiate level. Was a leading rusher last year in at a Big Ten school, and has size, has speed, has maturity. And then you got Dremeco Green, who today was his first college practice. But if the summer, we knew he was a good player coming in. He had a great summer, and we're excited as a freshman what he can do to help us. So I think those 4 guys. Who knows? Is it a by committee deal? Does someone raise their level like Brashard did? I don't know. But there are young, except for TJ, pretty talented guys that we got to develop and bring along. And hopefully they'll all do well and give us better depth than we maybe had a year ago.
Last year, a big storyline this time of year was what your quarterback situation was going to look like. How does it feel going into camp, having, I'm assuming, a starter set, and what have you seen from Kevin just in this offseason? Yeah,
it's good. I think after one of his throws today, one of our coaches came up to me and goes, I think 7 will be our starter. And so, look, we've had it think 2 of the previous 3 years we weren't totally sure, and 1 year we were. And it's always better when you have a spring and a summer and you know who your quarterback's going to be. Just it gives it settles your team. It allows the leadership and the accountability to take place. On offense, it allows you to kind of know what the identity needs to be sooner. And I think Kevin's done a nice job of stepping into that leadership role. Look, it's totally different. Derek King will tell you this, and anyone else who's played. It's totally different when you go into a season not the starter and you become the starter at some point versus knowing all year long you're going to be the guy. It's just different. And so that's what's fun about this game. It's always a process of new. His freshman year, he played college football for the first time. His sophomore year, he got his first start in a championship game. Last year, he became the first full-time starter in the ACC, and he's passed those tests pretty well. Now it's first time going into a season as the established guy with expectations. And so, but as a coach, head coach, and as a coaching staff, it definitely gives us great confidence and comfort knowing that we feel like we have one of the best quarterbacks in America leading our team.
You mentioned chemistry in the opening statement. I think Isaiah and Charlotte mentioned trying to build a brotherhood in the summer, not just working out together. Have you changed how you try to approach that with just the roster turnover that's now seemingly every year?
Well, we haven't changed over what we've done the last few years. Is everybody works hard. Everybody works. Everybody does a similar regiment from January till game 1. It's what substantive things are getting done during that time. So you have the physical pieces and all the other things, but we spend a ton of time here on the relationships, coach to player, the relationships, players to player. I mean, every year in this portal era, you've had a new team more so than you used to, right? But I mean, I think it was 2 years ago, right before we played our last year in the American, we flipped a big part of the roster, right? Well, more because we lost a lot of players to graduation, the NFL, and things like that. I mean, 42 new faces are here, both around 20-something from the high school ranks and 20-something from the transfer ranks. So you're always having to mesh and create a brand new team, and that takes time. It takes time spending together. It takes time building those relationships to where, now a month from now, we got to be able to play football together, and it's really hard to win a football game, and it's really hard to overcome the adversity in a single football game, much less a full football season, unless you're close and connected and all those things. So we spend a lot of time doing a lot of little things to try to create that environment for that to grow. What's good for us is, we have really experienced players like Elijah Roberts and Jonathan McGill and Roderick Daniels and on leaving. A lot of guys who were not only good football players but helped that culture and that the character of our team, right? We have a lot of new faces, but we do have a lot of good remnants. I mean, we have Kevin Jennings on offense. We have R.J. Maryland and Matt Hibner, and we have Logan Parr and P.J. Williams, and we've got Romello and Jordan Hudson are now the old guys. And then you go to defense, you got Isaiah Wakobe, you got Ahmad Moses, Alex Kilgore, Cam Robertson, Isaiah Smith. So like Colin Rogers is a kicker. Like we have enough remnants that go, guys, this is how we do things. And so that's the foundation you hope carries over. And then at the same time, it's a brand new team. This team's personality will be different than anyone we've ever had. I told him last night, today was the first time that team has ever practiced together, like fully. It's the first time we've ever practiced together. So that's the fun part as a coach. Over the next month, we get to try to build and mold and grow this team to hopefully be a team that can compete for a championship.
Back to Kevin. He's had a lot of pub this offseason, national pub. Is there any other guy you can imagine that can handle that better than him, just given his demeanor?
No, I mean, I think he's built for that. Now, look, don't mistake someone always seeming like they have it all together to not being human. I mean, look, being a starting quarterback at college football in the NFL that's a heavy load. And so, but Kevin's built for it. It takes a special person to be able to play college quarterback at a high level. And I think he's proven that through his high school career and what he's done here. He's motivated just like everybody else. Look, we had a really good year last year for those that were around, and it's been great to have that momentum behind our program going into this year. But we didn't feel like it ended the way we wanted it to, and so I know he's motivated as others to just try to get better. And we're not trying to do anything other than be the best version of ourselves and the best team this team can be. I think if this team can reach its potential, then we'll be competing. How that ends, I don't know, but we'll have a chance to compete for something meaningful in November. But boy, we're a long way from that, and we got a lot of things in front of us before then.
When you look at the offensive line, what excites you about that group, and what also is where, you know, things need to come together more and things like that?
When you look at the O-line, I think we probably have the most stability we've had going into a season. I think we have the most depth. I think we have the best size, and we're pretty athletic. And so that gives us a chance to maybe get the continuity quicker. I mean, you look at we have a good blend of experience when you think P.J. Williams, Logan Parr, even Savion Byrd and Nate Anderson played a decent amount last year. And then you look at, we brought in some good pieces that I think can help now, and Addison and Bates, and see what we get out of Zion Nelson. And then you look at the freshmen. Like, we've never brought in freshmen that could play as a freshman here. I don't know yet if Draymond and Abel and those guys will be able to, but they're guys who have the physical tools. They're freshmen. O-line's a hard position to play. But so I think we've got a good blend of experience of new guys to maybe raise that room's level, and youth, young talent. But we have good continuity. We have good consistency. And I think Guerin will do a great job, and hopefully we'll be able to get to who's our best 5 and who's 6, 7, 8 sooner than later. But I think it's got a chance to be a really good unit for us.
SMU's been able to get top-level talent over the years, NFL draft picks, long NFL careers, but seemed like there was always a gap between those top guys and the rest of the team. That gap is really small now. What's it like to go out on that field and just see that much talent that you guys as the coaches have to work with? Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I kind of alluded to at the beginning. We have really good depth at a lot of positions and really good talent. A lot of young talent and some older talent, too, that maybe hasn't achieved the top end of their potential. But to your point, I mean, we're going to a season with guys like Kevin, Isaiah, PJ, others getting national recognition. They're on draft boards and they're on scouts' radar at a different level. That's exciting. I mean, that's part of the process we're in as a program, trying to build and become a sustainable winning program. If you can continue to win, you can continue to attract better players, and you're going to continue to have more NFL guys. So it's fun. I mean, we have a good history here at SMU of churning out really good NFL players, but the volume has a chance to increase. Instead of one guy a year or 2 guys a year, maybe there's 3, 4, 5, 6, you know what I mean? And so it's exciting to see that as a coach, because you look at our schedule and go, man, we're going to play some really good guys. We're going to play on Sundays every Saturday just about. I'm glad we got a bunch on our side, hopefully.
Due to the depth and varied health at the tight end position, how are you managing that group in fall camp?
Yeah, I mean, we're in a good place. I think Coach Woods will do a great job with that, with the rest of our medical team and everybody. I mean, the good news is R.J. Maryland was out there today, and he was running full-speed routes. You know, he's non-contact right now, and honestly, he'll probably be non-contact in practice the rest of his career here. But he's not cleared for contact, but he's cleared to run routes, and he ran full-speed routes today, and he didn't take himself out of one drill. And so we kind of have, over the next 4 weeks, a process of kind of easing him back into it, and there's a step-by-step to try to get him where he needs to be, to get him confident, and to just strengthen and, you know, go at the right pace. So we'll do that with him, but just to have him out there day one's a big deal. I think it shows we're on the track we want to be on with him. Matt Hibner looked good. I mean, Matt Hibner made some big plays today, so having him back and healthy, and he was limited in the spring, but he looks good to me. And then we got a bunch of guys competing to help those 2 guys. You know, they're the seniors, the experienced guys and all that, but we're going to need a lot more than just them. And I think, you know, if it's Adam Moore, if it's Tripp Reardon, those guys are in position to, like, take the next step and really help us win football games at a high level consistently, both on offense and special teams. You look at an experienced guy like Stone Eby, brings an edge to that room. And then, you know, we got some freshmen in Miles and Devin that we'll just see the process they come along at. But I think Coach Woods will do a good job of managing that room. Look, when you got proven guys like RJ and Matt, you got to get them. They're almost like veterans, and even if they weren't coming off an injury, you got to get them to work so they're not rusty when you start. But you also got to get them to the game. They played a lot of football, so we'll spend a lot of time getting those other guys more of the action to try to bring their development along quicker.
You mentioned some of the young talent that you're excited about. Any players, any freshmen in particular that you're keeping your eye on?
Man, I'm excited about them all. one day in helmets, in fairness, it's a good question. It's hard to single people out. I mean, I think if I go down the list on offense, I think Ty Hawkins showed in the spring that he's got a chance to be really, really good, and so he's going to get a ton of work this fall camp to see if he's ready to go, because he's going to be 1 or 2 plays away, And but I've been really pleased with the progression he's had early on. I know Coach King has too. I mean, look at our skill guys, Jermeco Green. You look at our 4 wide receivers. All 4 of them. I think all those guys are talented enough to contribute this year. Now, if they don't, that doesn't mean they're still not going to be great players. It may mean we have older guys ahead of them, or sometimes the game has to slow down. But the talent is there. And then I've already alluded to the offensive line. I mean, you got a guy who can come in at offensive tackle and guard and maybe be competing to get in the 2 deep. We just haven't had those caliber of guys. And then you go to the defensive side, particularly in the secondary. I mean, we've got corners like Jay Hawley and Zay Gentry that are going to be competing for playing time as true freshmen. To have athleticism and the talent level to even be in that mix is different for us. You go to the safety positions with Man Polly and Sael and some others that we think are going to have a chance to help us, as well as some of our young linebackers. So I just think that's what you got to do to build your program, and it's exciting to come into a season, to your question, knowing you got young guys that can compete to either help a lot on teams, get in the 2 deep. Some guys play early, some guys may not play till next year, some guys may not play early, and then all of a sudden around game 5, 6, 7, you're like, whoa, where'd he come from? Because it just clicks at different time. But there's a lot of guys that are going to be pushing older guys ahead of them, I think.
Back to Isaiah, did you notice any difference in his approach this offseason versus others that maybe just once again made him?
You talking about Wachovia?
Wachovia, sorry.
Yeah. I think Isaiah's never been a real vocal guy. He's steady, he's reliable, he goes about his business. I mean, him and Kevin to some degree are a lot alike. They're not rah-rah guys. They don't speak a whole lot. When they do, everybody listens. I think in the past, Isaiah's just gone out and let his play do the talking and been a consistent leader for us by just doing things right all the time. And you had guys like Jonathan McGill and Elijah Roberts and Kobe Wilson that could be a little more vocal. I think him and Ahmad have done a really good job of embracing that role this offseason. Like, hey, it's our time to not only go out and produce like we've done, but kind of be the leaders of this unit. Like it's not only our time, but we're needed to step into that role. And so, I think he did a great job at ACC Media Days of just representing himself, our team well. You can see there's just experience gives you maturity, and I think he's got that, and it's been fun to see the leadership aspect grow in terms of just being able to be comfortable to put yourself out there and really be that guy,
I know you're pretty up on historical trends. I think just Clemson is the only ACC team that's gone to back-to-back championship games in the last 10 years. Do you have pillars, keys, priorities that you want to get to or want to achieve to put yourself in position to do that? Walk me through kind of what you
thought that historical facts thing might have been going a different direction, but I guess we're going to stick in the ACC. We're going to stick with the ACC.
I did watch the press conference, so I got some nuggets from you.
Hey, I just tell the truth, right? So I didn't know that about Clemson. I knew that they've, over the last decade, pretty much every year but maybe one, been there and won them. And so, there's not something I say, man, if we don't do this year's not a success. We're not there yet. I mean, today's the infant stage of trying to get this specific team ready to be the best we can be. I think our program goal is, if you're coming off of back-to-back 11-win seasons, it's like, how do we sustain the success? Because a lot of people can have a good year here or there. How do we keep the momentum going? And that doesn't mean 11 wins, 8 wins, 12 wins. I don't know if there's a number to it. We just have to keep the progress going, on the national stage. And to do that, we have to compete well in the ACC. SMU, we want to be a national brand. We want to continue to be Dallas's college football team. I think our city has embraced us. This is one of the best markets, if not the best in the country. And we're the only college football team here, so we get a chance to be that team for this city. We want to continue to play at a level that we're embraced as that. And so I think we have big goals. We have all these things we want to do, but it all starts with taking care of the little things. And if this team can be the best version we can build it to be, we got to take some luck. Takes guys staying healthy every now and then, get a good break here or there. With the schedule we have, we're going to have to play really well and play well early. But can we put ourselves every November in contention to get to Charlotte? can we put ourselves in contention when we get into November that we're playing meaningful games that give us a chance to play our way there? And every year we may not do it, but that's what the really good programs do. They consistently put themselves in those opportunities. And so I think that's where we want to be this year. Look, we kind of break it down. We got the preseason, we got 4 non-conference games. Then we got 4 in the middle that are not going to be easy. And then you get to November with 4 more. So when we turn the page 8 games in and we get to November, 8 games in and 4 conference games, are we still in the mix? And that, to me, is where we got to make sure our program is more years than not. And if we can do that, then we have a chance to get back there more times. And so I'd be lying if I didn't tell you this team's goal is to get back to Charlotte. It is. So are the other 16 teams playing football in the ACC. But I wouldn't want our guys to have goals any different. And we're just going to go about the process and let the results fall where they may. But it would be nice to say we've done something that only that other team has done.
Thanks, guys.
All good?
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Appreciate it.